Attention carriers, brokers, and dispatchers. You're tuned into the eCarrier Check channel, where we bring you the insider tips, tricks, and insights to drive your sales and logistics business to new heights. Each week, your hosts, Jared and Nate, sit down with the top professionals in the industry, diving deep into everything from prospecting and cold calling to maintaining carrier relationships and maximizing your bottom line. Learn real-world strategies, hear success stories, and get actionable advice you can implement in your business today. So buckle up and get ready for an entertaining and informative ride. This is the eCarrier Check channel, your source for can't-miss logistics intelligence. Stay tuned.
Too bad. Good morning, happy Friday, happy hump day. I didn't put the camo on our show today, but that's okay.
Let's go.
But it's hump day. We made it through the week.
We're working through the week.
We're working through the week. We're still working through the week. But next week's it's a holiday. So
yeah.
Grind it out this week. Next week, hopefully some of you guys will be able to chill and take some time off. But yeah. How's the week been for you, man? I know, like you said, halfway through the week. What's your world look like?
This is an interesting week. Here's a couple positive things about the holiday.
Okay.
Is the holiday's on like Friday.
Yeah.
So it doesn't jack everything up. Gabe, what's up, brother? What's going on?
We were just talking about you, man. Little prospecting break after the crazy morning.
Yeah, that'll happen. Trucking. Welcome. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous.
You keep killing it, brother. You're doing phenomenal.
I love that. It's good to see him on. But that'll help your cause. With it being on Friday, I bet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are fairly busy. Tom, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here with having a cup of coffee.
Or Celsius.
Or Celsius.
Not
whatever.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
This one's really bad, by the way.
It's terrible. Don't get the guava.
Don't get the kiwi guava. It's terrible.
Don't get the guava, man. It's just, it's not good.
But yeah, you're going into how.
So you get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, which is awesome. You know what I mean? But then, they put like a DOT stop on oversized loads and stuff starting Thursday at it was something like at 3:00 or something crazy. So, so watch yourself there. I do think, we are starting to see just more consistency.
Right.
You know what I mean? With some of the business levels that we're seeing when we talk to brokers, to carriers. They're not seeing the real down weeks and the real up weeks. They're just seeing more consistency is kind of what I've been hearing the last couple of weeks, which has been nice. Honestly, I'm excited about today's topic because we use AI, we use ChatGPT, we use Grok, we use them all really. Right. And, honestly, I'd be interested, just to raise a hands or what are you guys using ChatGPT for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My daughter uses it. 13-year-old daughter, she uses it, and she loves to make like pictures of the dog. That's just her thing. She's artistic. Thing, it's her kind of cup of tea. You and I use it for business. If you look at a lot of the news that's coming out, like Facebook or Microsoft, they're really not adding more programmers because their programmers are working at such a higher level because of the use of how ChatGPT and some of these large language models can help with programming, right?
I mean, you can use it for anything. Chief Freyhauer, I'm sure you can. I know you know a lot about trucks and stuff like that, but if there's ever anything you don't know, maybe going on with your truck, throw it in ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I sent a damn picture of my cat's eye to ChatGPT, and it said it could be these possibilities. Obviously, go see a vet.
Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy how it lists out.
It's insane. Gabe says he doesn't do anything with ChatGPT. After today's show, I promise you this is going to make your life even more interesting and easier than you think. So, for the most part, you can get all these, ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, they're all free for the most part.
Yep.
When you start like having full on like conversations with you after like 100 prompts, it's like, yeah, bro, we're done.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe prospecting once in a while. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy what we've got to say today, because there's some craziness that our programmers helped us out with. So we're going to kind of talk through some of those things.
Yep.
Specifically, one other thing that I want to say before we jump into the AI, the deal for those of you watching later, not just down the road, like right now live, we just hit 800,000 views on our YouTube channel.
We did. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
And 7,000 subscribers. And so we want to thank each and every one of you for supporting us, for giving us ideas to talk about. Actually, this was someone that called us and said, hey, will you do a show on this? And we said, absolutely, we'll do it for you. So
yeah, we enjoy getting on, every Wednesday and Friday. I know some Fridays we're taking some time off. It's summertime. What do you do? But yeah, we enjoy getting on here, providing feedback and tips and stuff like that. So
good guest on Friday too.
We got Bella on from A&Z Trucking Friday. She's a really interesting background, and then what she does to this day, she's just very motivated, and you can tell a lot by her LinkedIn, and just she's posting real life stuff here and just real examples. She's kind of doing what we're doing on LinkedIn. And she's doing it really well.
I agree.
And she does it for free. That's the crazy thing. She doesn't get paid to do it. She just wants to help people. So,
yeah, exactly.
Haven't used ChatGPT. Probably should figure that out.
Yeah, we'll show you what I'm telling you. Cheap Rate Hauler. Wait until you hear what we can do. We're actually going to pull up live examples and really help you. I do got to give it up though. The best thing that's on our show today, I'm serious, is your mustache.
Oh gosh,
it is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I friggin' love it. I think you look handsome. And I think it's wonderful. Fishing's always good. It's just what you got to do. You know what I mean? You just got to get out and relax and enjoy life a little bit. Sometimes we go so hard and forget to stop and smell the roses a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's hard in this industry too, man. Like I get it. Like some people just don't have I think it's just the energy. At the end of the day, you're on the phone all day. You're either getting your ass chewed or you're whatever. I don't know, but like it really can take a lot out of a person. So
absolutely.
And I feel for those people that work at home alone and don't really have much people to talk to. So but just find a way to keep your cup filled and do something positive.
Yeah.
You like to go for walks.
I'm a big walk guy. I listen to tons of books. It really helps me. I think something before you get into this. He's got pages.
Oh, we got pages.
Okay, he's got pages. Let me explain to you something that you see on Facebook. You see it everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at. You'd be like, these are the top 3 things you need to do to prompt ChatGPT or Grok or any of these, right? And I want to explain prompting to you just a little bit.
Yeah, please.
You know what I mean? Because I think what's important, and we've got an extreme example that we're going to show you, and then we've got like a regular example to show you, okay? But from a prompting perspective, what we're trying to accomplish with ChatGPT, with Grok, with Claude, I'm just going to kind of keep referring to ChatGPT, is you want to prompt it to be like, hey, I'm going to have this conversation later today. Can you help me out with some three tips, right? Or you can say, hey, I want you to act like an expert, specifically from the Southeast, that's been trucking for 25 years on flatbeds. And I really want to give a better explanation of how I can word this to this particular shipper. That's prompting, right? We really are starting to think in layers of, okay, geographics, equipment, expertise, all these things. Then we start getting into that side of it. When we talk about prompting, and we're going to show you something here. We'll share our screen here in a few. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's really just to help you. Well, at the end of the day, right? It's what you put in is what you'll get out. No matter what you're doing. It's not just ChatGPT related. But I took a 20-minute class with my developer yesterday because he loves ChatGPT or just AI, Grok, all that. So he kind of explained to me what really the end goal should be. And kind of what people need to start thinking how to utilize it. So all a large language model is, or an LLM, is trying to do is find the next best word of output. So I find it helpful to remember that all it's doing under the hood is just predicting words. Excuse me. The more information you give it, the better it will be at finding the next best word that best fits your case. So exactly kind of the example you just gave us. Sales emails, cold calling tips, etc. Maybe you need some tips for cooking.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying that because I did that already.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
Use structured text, use brackets, lists, etc. Around various instruction blocks and greatly improve the outputs. It helps the LLM understand its own instructions better. So everything, like I said, is just going to continue to be what you put into it, right?
Yeah.
And then these large language models are great at role playing. So if you guys are at home by yourself, you need that kind of role play action. This is super helpful.
It also allows you, the role playing thing, I think, is kind of interesting, especially like Cheap Freight Hauler, who's gotten on here and said, hey, I've been thinking about doing this or bringing on 3 guys.
Right.
You know, what are some things that I need to be thinking about, or how should I price this accordingly, or what should I word in the contract, right?
Right.
You know, with Cheap Freight Hauler coming to us just about a month ago and saying, hey, I think I got an opportunity. I may end up having to add some guys. It will role play well with you when you start playing that game. Like, here's my scenario, here's what's going on. So now, you know, there's role playing at home. I'm not going into that. But then there's role playing like from a standpoint of talking to your ChatGPT. And so, but just for the sake of a Cheap Freight Hauler, I know you haven't used it. It's just an app. It's an app. It's a website. We're going to show you the website, but it's an app. So keep that in mind, okay?
Right. I like that input too on the Cheap Freight Hauler situation. You know, because you're right. There's a lot of people that come to us and like, hey, I'm not really sure what to throw in this contract, or I'm not sure how to create a carrier packet, or whatever it may be. Really good example there.
Easily done with this.
Here's one of the cool things I do love about ChatGPT or AI in general is, like I said, they're really good at role playing.
He says, well, tell. You know, we can try that later on. We'll try that. It'll probably be like, you need to be hauling garbage trucks around or something. Like, it'll tell us something crazy. We'll try that here in a few.
Funny.
That's kind of funny.
But if you tell that language model it's an expert, it will give you higher quality responses. So you're kind of going into this looking at, like, you're talking to ChatGPT as a mentor.
Yeah.
Okay. So you tell it that it's an expert, you get higher, quality responses. If you tell that it needs to explain something to an amateur, so if I'm a new freight broker, I'm telling ChatGPT, hey, I'm an amateur broker. Now it takes on that mentor.
Yep.
So then it gives you better tips, right? So if you're at home alone, this is a really good input here, because in my opinion, if you're new to this industry, you need a mentor.
Yeah.
If you're afraid to maybe reach out to people, because you're afraid of asking just weird questions, there's no weird questions, I promise you. This is a super good tool. And don't settle for a single prompt.
Yep.
Always keep experimenting. The better you prompt, the better your output. So try the same prompt in multiple different models to see which one understands your instructions the best. But at the end of the day, we're not telling you to prompt all this and then copy paste and send.
Right.
Prompt everything to help you form a better email, a better sales call. We still want you to be you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We don't want it to sound like a robot.
Yeah.
So that's why we tell you the more you put in, the better it's going to come out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he keeps saying, well, I'm an expert in this or doing that, or even like from a, hey, write me a legal document that will stand up in court over this, and you can get yourself, a carrier agreement, right? And start working there, right? Secretly, I have a little bit of this life in me that's like down here that I don't really tell a lot of people about, but I would like to be able to rap at some point in my life. And so instead of it saying, hey, write me a rap in an expert level, I say, write me a rap like Snoop Dogg would in the 90s. Yeah. Right. That's that. Like, think about it from that perspective. So as you guys are doing those things, there's that. So all really good info right here. Just to kind of keep pushing your prompting and things like that. So.
And honestly, just like if you're going into situations, whether it's business related or just in life, it's helpful to understand, like, if you're going to go have a meeting with someone that you're not really sure what questions to ask.
Yep.
Like, this is stuff you need to do.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people aren't fans of AI or ChatGPT, but I think they're missing out, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It just enhances. There's a reason why these huge companies are not hiring more programmers. They're just pushing their programmers to utilize more ChatGPT and more functionality to increase their level of capacity. Those those are the things that you really want to do. It's a very interesting thing. So walk us through what you're seeing here.
Yeah, this is like high level ChatGPT input here. So what our developer did, Tire Killer, what is up, bro?
Well, can it provide me with winning lottery numbers? Oh my gosh.
I already tried, man. I already tried doing this for Keno.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
The Keno just doesn't work the way it needs to,
Yeah.
right?
What my developer did here for this prompt was explained word for word like the situation, right?
Yep.
So you're kind of explaining the background, and then really what he did. I mean, like he went deep into this.
Yeah, this is expert level prompting.
Right. So we can read through this, but you're an experienced salesperson at U.S. Freight Brokerage, trying to bring on new potential shippers as a client. In your personal life, your hobbies include fishing, sports, playing golf. I think he's talking about you.
I think he
and
might
traveling.
Be. Yeah.
You've been to most of the U.S. national parks.
I haven't been to all of them, but a lot.
Okay. You don't take life too seriously, but when it comes to sales, you're trying to be direct, focusing on customer satisfaction, building long-term relationships. You brush off any short-term failure. The strengths you would point to over your career are communication skills, problem solving, finding solutions quickly. Your current specialties in freight include intermodal and reefer work on both East and West Coast. You also do some cross-border freight between U.S. and Canada, as well as U.S. and Mexico. And then you threw in here imports, and if you guys want a link to this to read it more on your own computer, email support@ecarriercheck.com, and I'll send you the link to exactly what I'm looking at.
This prompt, yeah. We can send this prompt to people. People sell prompts.
Yeah, we're not doing
it. No, hell no. We don't. There's no reason to.
Right. So here's what's important. Your writing style is direct, brief, and informal. Don't worry about how you come across as long as it's providing value for your customer. You don't sound like an AI agent. You eliminate excessive adjectives, shorten your sentences, and avoid repetition of words. It's okay to take small grammatical.
Okay, it's Wednesday, folks.
Yes,
it's fine.
Or spelling mistakes.
It doesn't matter.
Or speaking mistakes. As it makes you sound more human and approachable. Always make text more concise, or always write a first draft. Think about how to make it sound more natural and human. This is huge.
Yeah. This is probably what put everyone off at the very beginning.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
This 100%. Is honestly, to a certain extent, AI has made our life very noisy because of the automation behind things. So this is what's going to make you sound different.
Right. And you even said too that most shippers are catching up on that.
Yeah.
And they're sending emails without even reading it to junk. Because they're picking up on that.
For sure.
So never take that first draft or that first draft. Always have a second one. Just because you can find different ways, different directions.
Yeah.
Critical. The best sales emails are less than 20 words. Keep it short. Yeah. 100%. We talk about that all the time.
We do talk about that a lot.
Below will be information about a shipper. We need to write 3 possible sales emails for reaching out to them as a prospective client. Now, if you're like Gabe and likes to do cold calls,
picks up the phone,
you can still use this.
You can still smash through talking points.
Right. So, Gabe, I'm actually going to send this to you. I know you probably won't ask for it, but I'm going to send it to you because I want to see what you can do with this.
Yeah, I would.
Even though you're doing really good right now, man. I appreciate your grind. But here's some examples of some sales hooks that we can look into, so you can see how number one, can you help me out? I was wondering if you can help me out. We got a driver in your area who's looking for a load out of wherever.
Right.
We actually work with so-and-so already, so we're in the area fairly often. If you're interested, give us a call. Now, we do talk about how not to
we
do
try
that.
Not to.
Right.
Yeah, we try not to go.
So how can we take this and maybe do it different? We could type in ChatGPT and say, hey, the truck in your area is dead.
Yeah, absolutely. We could just say that.
We could say that and say, give us something else, right?
Yeah.
From you as a salesman, you're my ChatGPT right now. How would you word that differently to make it not hey, we got a truck in your area?
I think it's more about, something that Trevor wrote in the thing up here is he talks about more value driven, keep going up. He talks about like giving like more value, which I think is interesting. And I think that's pretty critical. And so how would you rewrite, can you help me out? Or I've got a truck in your driver in your area. In my mind, I don't know if that's really viable in today's world.
Right.
I think you're going to have to go, here's 4 things I know about your industry. Here's 3 things that I've seen in supply chain. Here's diesel rates coming up July, August, and October. How is that affecting your supply chain today? Right? So those are things that I think you really I like the consultative hook. Just seeing like, I'm a huge consultative hook kind of guy, like just going in and saying, hey, we've seen a reduction in rate costs in the last month, 2 weeks, whatever, specific to the spot market. And so I think those are kind of an interesting way of going about it, right? So,
okay.
So I do love the way that these flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So keep cooking down here.
Let's look. Here's one of my favorites. Excuse me. The industry insight.
Yeah. And I love how short these are. They're really perfect. You know what I mean? Like it's a quick. It's something quick. It catches their attention. It adds some value to them. And we don't sound like a damn robot here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and I like this reliability testimonial here, because this is something you can say on the phone too. You know, Hillary recently helped a similar company overcome their shipping challenges during their peak times. And then they'll be thrilled with our timely, efficient services. Yeah. If you're facing similar challenges, you know, this is something we can help with, right? So, man, I do love these prompts because, like I said, you can really use them on the phone. Maybe not the first one we talked about, but you know, this one's good too.
Yeah, you could definitely use these on the phone. And I think that's probably one of the more interesting things about them is that it gives you those words that you're like, I should have said that. And so that's something that I think is important to let it do its thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, really good stuff here. Now here's the website for the shipper that we'll be emailing. So, you know, he threw in the website to the shipper. That just helped ChatGPT kind of form better responses. And here are some actual emails. So,
which is just, it's very quick, which I love.
Hey, we're running intermodal and reefer between Texas and Cali, plus cross-border stuff, U.S., Canada, Mexico. Notice your distribution covers packaging, janitorial, and MRO goods around Brownsville, Corpus Christi, San Antonio. We've helped similar shippers cut freight costs by 10 to 15%. Can we quote a couple of key lanes and benchmark your current rate?
See, and the last sentence for me doesn't necessarily do it for me. We cut, because I don't sell on trying to cut costs. I sell more on value driven.
Okay.
But I do like the idea of going, hey, we've seen freight in your area specific to spot market go down 10 to 15% over the last 30 to 60 days. Is this something that's reflecting in your current numbers? It starts to let them know that you're a markets, you know, a market value guy. You know what I mean? You know their area. You obviously mentioned those areas. So that's something I like about this. And then you just kind of work through it.
Yeah, you're using Gemini AI.
Yeah, look at
George writing emails.
George friggin' Gomez. How the hell are you, brother? We haven't seen you forever. I love that. Gemini is really good. We haven't even said Gemini, but Gemini's good. I like Gemini.
The volume and capacity hook. Right.
Yep.
You're expanding intermodal or reefer capacity. Then here's your reliability ratio and testimonial hook. So for every shipment, how many hit your destination on time and damage free. So, yeah, super good stuff. Like I said, if you want an email to all this stuff to read through on your own end, email support@ecarriercheck.com. I'll send you a link. Or if you have me on LinkedIn, shoot me a message. I'll get you right.
Yeah.
So really good example. Shout out to our programmer for putting that together.
I think something else real quick, just for the sake of it, is
go back down.
Can we prompt this real quick? Is that okay? Can we just write something in here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So here's what's something I like. This is something that I think is really interesting. And we're still talking about this Gulf thing, right?
Yes.
Can you scroll up? I don't remember the name of the shipper, and that'll help with the prompt. Where was the name of the shipper? Do you remember? Oh, there it is. Go back down. Okay. So Gulf Coast Paper. Okay. You know, now that we're in this, like you can honestly just put, can you give me 10 other shippers that are similar to Gulf Coast Paper that have less than 500 employees that are on the West Coast?
That has, you said 500 employees?
Less than 500 employees, yeah. And it doesn't even have to be spelled right.
Yeah, they just know.
They know what's going on.
See, like I can't even
less than 500 employees.
Well, I got my email pulling up here. There we go. Okay.
And on west of the Mississippi. All right, hit it.
If you make fun of me for my spelling,
I honestly, there is no judgment there's no judgment here. All right, so take a look at this real quick. Look, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Whoa.
Here's a bunch of other people. Now Okay, so now we have this list of 10 people. Let's prompt it again. I want to show you something else that's interesting. Keep going down. Okay. Well, yeah. So let's even do like this. Like let's ask it, can you give me 3 things that specifically this industry is struggling with supply chain? So now we have 10 leads in logistics, supply chain, whatever it may be, right? And let's just try it again. Let's see what's going on. So now it's kind of going out, going, yeah, let me see what's going on. Look at this. Inconsistent freight rates, spot market volatility, delayed transit time, lack of visibility. All right, well then perfect. So let's start to have those. Oh, it's just going to keep going. I love that. Overflow.
Cross-border complexity.
Yeah, like all of a sudden now you have 7 things to possibly address to those people.
Oh, look at that too. It even says, let me know if you want to turn this into a pitch deck slide or an email angle.
These pain points are excellent openings for consultative sales conversation. You know what I mean? So for those of you who want to just kind of keep pushing the button, I'm telling you, this is wild. We could probably ask, hey, do you have a good point of contact at these locations? Let's just see where it goes. This is free. If you guys aren't using this, it's free.
I'd be nervous to say I've seen rates dropping. For all I know, they got trusted broker that's telling the rates are up. Yeah. Then they're going to think I don't have a clue about rates from the first contact.
Yeah.
George, thanks to e-carrier check. Finally be able to breathe. Shout out, brother. Shout out.
I love that, man. It's good to see him on here. Take a look at this. Key contacts. Now, is it going to be right every time? You know,
it's exactly how our sales.
It's how it works.
How our leads are, right? Like, because there's LinkedIn leads on here, which we have. Now, if Katie Matthews finds a different sales executive job somewhere else and they don't update her LinkedIn, it's still going to pull through.
Absolutely.
But at least you could be like, hey, I was speaking with Katie Matthews, and they go, oh, she's no longer here. Here's Jim.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's just keep going. So you can see that it's really trying to pull linked with Shipping Insight. Like, you see where I'm going with this? Like, boom. Like, man.
This is good stuff.
Right? Woo! You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we just got to go. We got to go hard.
Right.
So, Gabe, next time you are pushing your list around, you know, pop in ChatGPT and say, hey, I really like this type of company, and start to work it so that it's beneficial for you, and just utilize it as, is it the end all be all? No. But can it make you a little more efficient with maybe time and research and doing those things?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
All day.
Right.
All day, every day. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm a big fan of that. Real quick, if you can, just share the screen for shits and giggles. Just ask it, where do I find $5 rates specific to the Southeast for open deck trailers?
Maybe if my keyboard works. Okay, here we go. Say that again. Where can
I find $5 a mile freight in the Southeast for flatbeds?
All right, Chief.
Here we go. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. It's rare, but not impossible. See, I love that. Loads of bricks, steel I-beams, last minute delivery to construction sites. Yeah, but short hauls and $5 a mile, you know, that is what it is. Yeah. I love this though. Emergency utility storm recovery. I'm a big fan of how look at the short runs for Ritchie Brothers. Like, it's like, hey, why don't you call this company and see what you can do? You know what I mean? Freight brokers you trust. Love that. Gives you a list of freight brokers. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I love that. Let's see what the question is on here. So, cheap freight hauler, can you get $5 an hour or $5 a mile? Maybe. Do you see ceiling for e-carrier? I mean, what else do you add? What else do you add? You know, this is a good question, actually. You know, we're a big believer in just adding value right here. We love the social side of things. We like to try to help and educate people as much as we can. We're definitely a sourcing platform that's built specifically to help you find really specific people. You know what I mean? What else could we add? You know, there's a variety of things. It's just really trying to find a market that's not too terribly saturated.
Right.
We love the AI world. We love this type of thing, and so we're exploring a lot of things. I know that was a very politically correct answer, but we're exploring a lot of different avenues to see where we fit in our world. But for now, we just love connecting with people. We love being able to help people. Yesterday, I was on the phone with a carrier out of LA.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about
did
that.
some cold calling, ended up finding some people.
Right.
And I don't know if you've got any other software companies out there
They're-
that give two shits to do that.
Right.
It's us.
Right.
There is no one else.
Yeah. The
If
guy
you-
hopped on the call not like thinking he was getting a demo.
No, he had no idea.
Well, he got a demo, but he
Yeah,
also
he got-
got a free sales call.
Yeah, we started doing cold calls and let's get it going.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
So flatbeds are paying $5 out of Texas towards Southeast.
interesting.
Okay.
I can believe that though, because I mean, nobody wants to take friggin' freight to. God, Florida sucks. You know what I mean? So freight into Florida, you're gonna get paid good, and then
Coming out.
you're bringing shit out. I mean, you're
Right.
getting $1 a mile out of there. So
Maybe a 10.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So
let's see here.
honestly, I really enjoyed today, Nate, because we're starting to talk about things that people can do to help their business, to help them do things. I've got a 1-pick 16 drop load starting tonight. The $5 freight will have to wait until another day. 16 drop. But good God, do you add $50 a stop or what? How's this work, man?
That's wild.
That is wild. That's incredible. I mean, this site is the goat for commerce. I agree. I love our site. I think our site really is a powerhouse, and it's just continuing to grow because we meet more and more people.
Right.
We did Tire Killer. If you didn't hear at the very beginning, we just crashed over 800,000 views on our YouTube channel. And so if you can share this channel with people, we don't care if you're a subscriber or not. We want to help you. We want to impact your people and just, let's just raise the tides together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, man. You guys, I enjoyed today's show. It was a really, it was just nice to see how ChatGPT or AI in general can help you. And, if you ever need help just kind of running this type of stuff, let us know.
Call us. We're here.
Yeah, we're always here to help. So make sure you like this video, subscribe, tell your friends to tell their friends.
I love that.
Tell them to hit us up. We love to chat with them. We
Pull it
love
up-
you guys.
Pull it up at your 4th of July party next week.
Yes. Love you guys. Thank you again so much. We love getting on here chatting with everyone. It's kind of really just a highlight of our week. So you guys have a great rest of your week. Tune in Friday.
Yeah, huge guest.
We got Bella on from A&Z Trucking. I'm excited to talk with her. It's been a long time coming to get her on the show. She's been hustling. I'm excited to hear.
Can't wait to hear what she's
has.
got going on.
Oh yeah, man, I'm excited. So, all right, guys, we will talk later. RPM.
Fuel stops. Good
Okay.
job. Good
Nice
job.
work, brother.
Yeah, he's